Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is day 2 of the telephone hop. So Dorothy started our team off. We were the Scrappy Shenanigans, and I adore her layout. I was so excited when she sent it to me. It's not a style I usually do, so I was super excited to get it done because I knew it could fit in really well with what I like to do. She had this 3-photo grid with a lot of it almost looked like pocket cards. I don't know if she used pocket cards or she just used scraps, but I thought that was such an amazing design to start with because you could take it so many different ways. A lot of people have pocket cards they need to use, in which case if you do some stash busting and scrap lift this because it was really, really good for that. I decided to pull out a 6x6 paper pad because I was scrapbooking some horse riding photos, and that paper pad is very outdoor friendly. Lisa sent it to me and I love it so much, and I thought it would be a great layout to use some of those smaller sized papers because all of us usually, not all of us, but some people have a hard time using that smaller scale photo. So this was a great chance to do all of the above. And I started with doing my background similar to how she did hers. I love that she had a double mat around the main part of the page, and I love that the background paper had the rounded corners. So I'm starting out with doing that. I have this green pattern paper. I'm not quite sure what collection it's from. It wasn't marked on the branding strip because I just got it from Joann's, but I'm pretty sure it's American Craft something. I'm using a craft piece of cardstock for the second layer, and then I'm just going to use some white paper as my background. I wanted something white and not distracting because I know I'm going to have a lot of small layers, a lot of small patterns with using the 6x6 paper pad. So I wanted a blank canvas to work from, and I really just like the way it looked when she did that. So I'm trying to copy hers pretty literally, especially right now, and get the backgrounds because I never like double mat a layout, and it looks so nice. I just never even think to do it. So I loved that aspect of her design right away, even before you got to all the fun layers. So getting the background down here, I think it looks so nice, and it looks so like outdoorsy but still fresh because you have the green, you have the craft, but then you have this large piece of white to work from. But those rounded corners on that white make such a cool little detail and I love it so much. So I'm gonna have to remember that for some future layouts. She had some 3 photos, so I grabbed 3 photos and I trimmed them all down to 4x4. I left this one a little wider at first because her photo there was a little wider, but then I don't know if it's the way I cut my layers, but it ended up messing with the way I wanted to do my grids. So I squared it up, made them all 4x4s, and now I'm going through my little paper pad here and pulling out all the pattern papers I'm thinking about using. I already started with this green leafy background paper as my 12x12, so I have some green. I really wanted to pull in some more blues and a lot of outdoorsy type photos, which isn't or papers hard with this collection. I love that mountain paper. I don't think I used that one on this one. Pulled in a couple wood grains. I always love a good constellation. There's a really cute constellation paper in this 6x6 pad, so I pulled that out as well. But I decided I would just start by matting all 3 of my photos on the same craft paper. That's the second background mat, just so that color and texture is pulled into the page as well, just because there's such a skinny border of it on the outside, and I think matting my photos in that as well helps bring that color out a little bit. And I never mat my photos in craft, and it looks so good, especially because they are outdoorsy, and I feel like that automatically makes it more earthy. So I really liked that. I'm gonna mat all 4 of those in the same thing. I'm trying to keep this part pretty simple. I want all of them to be the same because I know I'm going to go in with a bunch of little smaller layers of smaller patterns, so I want to try and keep it simple for now. But I just love the way she did it, and I tried to start out with my layers all looking pretty much how hers did because I really liked how all of her corners lined up in her layers. So I'm trying to go off of that. It looks like she has a longer horizontal piece going across the middle-ish portion, so I'm pulling in the same green pattern as the background layer, just so again that green is pulled into the middle of the page as well. So everything's cohesive. I really like how that looks. And then of course the first paper I had to pull in from this paper pad was the constellation. I have my little Becky Higgins corner rounder there. It's another thing I really liked about her page was the juxtaposition of the straight corners and the rounded corners. So I really wanted to carry that through my layout as well. So as you can see, my photos are square corners, but all of these layers have the rounded corners, and I think that's such a cool detail. So getting that all lined up. This part is just a little finicky, me trying to use these smaller pieces to create the layers that I want in a way that looks like hers. I really didn't want to mess with hers too much because I just loved her design so much, and I knew I did not have the same type of embellishment that she did, so I knew it would already get a little different when we got to that stage of the layout. So I wanted the paper layers and the main design portion of this page to be as close as possible, since I knew that part would kind of go a little off. But that's what I love about this telephone hop. I love this game so much. And I'm really glad Dorothy started us off, because this is such a cool start to this game. And then Christy's after me, so make sure you look at her layout tomorrow. I'll link her in the description. She will be scraplifting this layout, so we'll see how she kind of changes it. But I always think it's so cool to see how a single layout kind of morphs as it keeps getting scraplifted down the line. So we'll see how it goes. Dorothy had two title spots on hers, so I really wanted to do the same thing. She had, I can't even remember, I don't have a picture of it off the top of my head, but she had the main title, I believe, on top of this left-hand photo, and then a little bit more of it underneath that photo. So I tried to do the same thing where I had two parts of my title. So I thought about having trail be the top part and then the date on the bottom, but I didn't have the numbers I needed, and then I found a way to do kind of, I don't know, a weird, I found a different letter to kind of get the date down there, but ended up just looking messy. I don't know, I ended up changing it, but you see there, I found a way to do November 10th as my date, and I'm going to leave it there for a while just because I thought I could make that work, because again, I wanted that to be similar to the original layout, but I don't know, I think the title running off of the top there was messing with me, and the two different fonts were messing with me, so I don't know. I'll take the date off. The date's not really that important. My albums are in chronological order, and it's clearly fall and on autumn in this photo because you can see all the leaves change in the mountains. This is North Georgia mountains, and I love the North Georgia mountains in the fall when the leaves start turning. You have these big rolling mountains or hills, I should say. I don't even know if you can call them mountains, but when the leaves start changing colors, you just get this huge color like scale from green up to red, and it's just beautiful. So anyways, long story short, don't need the date. It's going to be with all my other autumn photos and pages. It's going to be in chronological order, so it really didn't matter. I'm just trying to figure out, I think my next layer, I wanted another layer, and I wanted to pull in a different type of pattern. I have these green leaves, I have the blue constellation, I wanted something with a little bit more interest, so I have this really sweet little pattern here that has a whole bunch of like hiking gear. I thought it looked very outdoorsy, so I thought I would go. It pulls in more of the blue, but it also pulls on a little bit of red, which I like, because although none of my other pattern papers have red, there is red in the leaves of the photos since the leaves are changing color, so I like that it pulled that from the photos. And there also is some more brown, so pulls more brown in from the craft paper I have around. But I love how these photo layers turned out. They are so stinking cute. So I'm pretty sure this is where I'm going to stop with the photo layers. I really wanted to get this brown craft colored used up as well, just to pull that brown a little more. But I didn't really want another layer, so I decided to make them into cute little tags. I believe Dorothy also had some tags on her layout, so I thought that would be a cool way to pull in another shape. So I'm cutting these brown arrow papers into tags. I'm going to have them tucking out of each side of the page. I'm just gluing on a white hole reinforcer, and I'm going to thread those with twine. Again, the brown twine really makes it look earthy and kind of equestrian, so I like that detail as well. So I'm just making my own little tags really quick. I'm going to have those tucking out of the corners. And again, I just like how you have the angular corners of the tag coming out of the rounded corners of these layers. I just think that's so fun. So gluing those down really quick. I think having them tuck out from a couple of the corners of these layers really help accentuate the corners of the rounded corners of these layers. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you'll see what I mean in a minute when I kind of tuck these tags in. I think it it emphasizes all these rounded corners. I think it's so cute. I kind of get stuck after this part. I know I want to embellish. I have a chipboard sheet from a different collection. I'm not even sure which collection it's from because I don't have the paper for it. I just got the chipboard sheet at Tuesday mornings one time. So if you know what the collection is, feel free to let me know. But I just thought it was outdoorsy and I thought it went with this collection. So I know I have that to pull from. Other than that, though, I don't have a whole lot of ephemera for this collection. I have that little puffy sticker sheet that I was thinking I would pull from. But yeah, I kind of get stuck at this point. I'm trying to figure out what to do. So I'm trying to remember what I do next. I have my little twine, trying to figure out if I can make something decorative with that. I think I just end up leaving it straight. I thought about adding these little branding strips of that cute little mountain pattern paper. But yeah, I decided that the date down there is messing with me, so I removed the date and then I decided to move the title down. That way it sat completely on a pattern paper, and I think it looks way nicer there. I think you can read it a lot better. So now that's down there, that makes it look a lot more pleasing to my eye, and now that open area where I'm moving the title is asking for a little bit of embellishment, so kind of decide to make that a focal point. Here's that chipboard sheet. There's this really cute circular piece that says, "Well traveled, the world is made for exploring," and it's on this light wood grain tone. I just thought that was perfect, so I want to pull that in. But I also wanted another layer for these tags, and there's this really cool frame that's in that same tone as the well-traveled circular piece. So I thought it would be cool to try and tuck a frame in. So that's what I did. I think it ends up looking really cool. So I cut it into two pieces and just have it tucking out from behind the tag. Again, I really like that that emphasizes straight corners since we have all these rounded corners, and then again adding another round piece with this circular chipboard. But I really like how this looks, and those pieces all balance each other because they're that same kind of tan color. But yeah, I still needed some embellishment, so I went through one of my embellishment containers and realized I had a whole bunch of horses and hearts. So I was like, okay, done, that's it. Obviously we have to put some cute little wood veneer horses on here. And hearts just go with anything. I love whenever I'm using wood veneer anything that's like an icon, like a horse or a camera or something. I love layering some little wood veneer hearts with it as well. So that's pretty much what I did. I just put a horse in 3 separate areas with 2 little hearts coming off of them, and that's my little embellishment cluster. So I didn't really do too much embellishment. I stared at this a long time, and if I didn't have a deadline to have to pass it on to the next person, I probably would have stared at it even longer. I really wanted to add even more stuff to this layout than this. But in the end, I kind of like how it's cleaner, and there's, I don't know, the little horses are really cute, so I kind of don't want to add too much where it would distract from that. But other than this, I pretty much do some Heidi Swapp color shine in a couple of the corners, and that's it. So you'll see that in a minute. I'm just gluing those down with my Tombow Mono Multi-Glue, and I just think that looks really cute. I really like the wood veneer kind of pulls from that craft color. And, you know, wood and outdoor photos, it just goes. So yeah, this one was a lot of fun. So I think I'm almost done gluing all of that down. I am not sure what color shine I'm going to use at first. I pulled the blue out first because I already have blue in these layers. So I used the teal Heidi Swapp Gold color shine and put those in 2 separate corners. But it looked like really bright blue. It was more the blue of the sky in these photos rather than the blue of the pattern paper, which is more of what I was going for. So I decided I would pair some gold Heidi Swapp color shine as well, just to kind of, I don't know, I figured if I was going to go there, I would just add some more. And so gold Heidi Swapp color shine was apparently my solution. So here's the blue here really quick. I'm going to do that in the upper left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner. Just because that white was looking too white. I love having white backgrounds, but sometimes it messes with me because it just seems too plain. And then here I'm going back with the gold Heidi Swapp color shine. So after that I'm done, though. You'll see the close-ups in a minute. There are lots of teams playing along with the telephone hop. I'm sure if you just search YouTube for Scrapbook telephone hop, you'll find them. But yeah, my team is the Scrappy Shenanigans team, and this is day 2. So if you missed Dorothy's layout, check it out. I have it linked in my description. And tomorrow, of course, is Christy, so I'll link her as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.